Morning, everyone. Words while we are waiting for Artemis to show up. I hope everyone is doing well, getting into the new year. Oh, I'm just waiting for her to get here so that she can wing it while I go get a cup of coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. I did have to have some food because my stomach was just killing me. But I hope I know everybody's probably tired of hearing this, but I hope everybody had a happy new year. You're going to hear that for at least the next week. Oh my goodness. Mm. Why is green not up there? It's Grain. There we go. I must not have typed it properly the first time. But as soon as my accomplice gets here, we can get the show on the road. The things that, let's see, what? Oh, I've been catching up on podcast we've been listening to is one of my vamp topics, and I've been catching up since my normal weekly podcasts don't have any episodes. I've been catching up on old episodes of things. There you are.
Hello.
So nice to see you this morning. So I guess we can stop words with friends.
Can you turn the sound off on the words on stream or whatever?
That didn't work, did it?
It did.
It did?
Yeah, I could hear you, but the music was also just like a little on the loud side.
Oh, I'm still getting the music, so
it turned it off for me.
It worked for you. Well, I'm going to remove it.
I'm trying to once again connect StreamYard. StreamYard only one time let me log into the chat on the computer.
There we go. There we are. And your hair is looking fabulous.
It's really not. If you could see, if I didn't have these blinding lights on here to distract you, you would see that it's actually very bad. It's like not good.
Well, how about we get this show on the road, because then you need to vamp while I go get a cup of coffee. So let's put the banner up and get started.
Every Wednesday morning. We do this every Wednesday morning. And somehow
I could have just left you here. And I've been awake since 7:30, by the way. But
and you don't have your coffee?
Wait. Let's get this show on the road first. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Klatsch, the first Coffee Klatsch of 2024. Yes, you're going to get tired of hearing that. Like I said, for the next week, everybody's going to say the first of 2024 or whatever. Anyway, welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. If you are new here, we are your ambiance We are your background sound.
It's the
We are
background
here
sound.
to keep you company while you do your chores, declutter your house, maybe exercise since it's a new year, you know, eat that healthy salad if you're having a vegan January, whatever. We're here to keep you company while you do all that. I am your first presenter, Danny, and
Are we presenters now? I am your next presenter, Artemis, and today we are going to be talking about carrots. Are they really good for your eyes? We will find out today.
you are ridiculous. But and now that I have introduced us, Danny the dentally improved and Artemis the fading away, Artemis will stop fading long enough for me to go get a cup of coffee.
Go get
And
your coffee. Don't take forever.
they will they will entertain you. Or I could just throw words with friends back up there. Would that be better for you?
Ooh, can you go up a crossword puzzle?
Crossword puzzle?
Yeah. We said we were going to start doing those anyway, and then didn't.
You want me to throw up planet crossword?
Yeah.
Okay,
Up a crossword puzzle.
let me see if I can get that done for you. Since I am nothing if not
Accommodating.
accommodating.
Why do I have a notification?
Okay.
Okay, get out of
Let's
here.
see if it'll work.
Oh, my eyeball.
Oh, stop. Da 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 da.
I forgot to turn
Da,
on my
da,
heater. Now my
da.
room is cold.
Oh, poor thing, poor thing, poor
Yeah.
ting, poor ting, poor ting, poor ting. Okay, let's see. Last time I tried to use a room that we already used, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't work out. So I'm going to see if I can just start fresh.
But didn't it not let you close out all of the old rooms, or did you figure that out?
It no, it didn't let me close any of those out. I think this is honestly, I think this is an abandoned website, to be honest. I don't think anybody is really maintaining it.
But if it's
Okay.
abandoned, where are all of the crosswords coming from?
Well, there's not really any newer crosswords. That's the thing.
Oh, well, how many are there? Is there a chance we could go through them all?
We've gone through a lot of them. We've gone through a lot of them.
I thought there were like hundreds of crosswords.
No, there's really not. There's really not, and they're crossed off the ones that I've already
We're gonna have to
done.
find a new
We've already
crossword
done.
website.
I've been trying to find a new crossword website. I really have. But like these all of these are like just like January, February, March, August of last year. I think the most recent one I saw was maybe one in November, but there's not a lot of I gotta where's turn the music off. All these things with music, turn the music off. Okay, there we go. You find, do you want a hard one? Do you want an easy one? Let's see what we've got here. I'm trying to find a large one. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, I'm trying to do a large one. Let's see if we can get this to work. Do do do. 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 Let's see if we can get this to work. Let's see if we can get this to work. As you can see, I am not as good at vamping as Artemis is. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I feel like we've already done it. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Did we lose Artemis? Why is she not there? Why are you not there? You are. Why did you pop out?
I don't know what happened. It like it it showed your screen was loading for a second. I was like, oh, her internet's out. And then my screen was also loading. I was like, what's going on? And then it just like, I had to refresh the whole page. And then when I refreshed the page, it kicked me out.
That's weird because my internet was fine. I don't know what you're doing over
My
there.
internet seemed like it was fine too because nothing was wrong on my phone. It didn't say the internet went out. It's just it just went down. I have no idea what happened.
Weird, 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 weird.
But I'm here.
Okay. Let's see where I can put this. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do.
Time to cross some words. What I was saying before I left was if there's a chance that we could go through all these crossword puzzles, we're gonna have to find a new crossword website. And I'm upset because I like this one.
Yes, I like this one too. I like the way it works. I just wish it let's see, where can we put it?
What do you mean? Where can we put it?
Okay. Not slides, not extra camera.
Is there not just a present location?
There is a present, but I'm trying to ooh, I need to oh, oh. I had to turn my heat off for a second. I was starting to work up a sweat. We can't have that. We can't have that. I'm still every time we do this, I'm still trying to figure out how to do it where it will let you type your answers in the chat.
Oh, into the
Chat.
chat, yeah.
And I can't.
Yeah, I don't think we ever figured that out for this one.
Okay. It tells me that okay. So we start the game.
I gotta get in there.
It says that the stream is connected,
Well, I'm not in
but
the stream chat because I can't get into the stream chat.
why can you not get into the stream chat?
Oh, it there's an error every time I try to log in with my YouTube. It let me in like maybe twice. So I always, if I talk in the stream, it's 90% of the time I've got YouTube up on my phone.
Oh, I did not
Yeah.
know you were having such issues.
Yeah. That's just me though. Like I don't think anybody else has been having any issues getting in the chat. What is the code? That's Hovercats. Can you type that into the chat? You've left me and I can't even type the code. Is that RGXR?
What I meant to do. What I meant to do was make this and big in that so that y'all can play the crossword.
And I am gone.
It
No one can see me. I am gone.
RGXR. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got RGXR. I am invisible. No one can see me. Type RGXR into the chat or can you type the Hovercats GG RGXR into the chat just in case somebody shows up? I
Okay.
am joined.
I typed it. Okay. Now, I am going to get a cup of coffee. You ramble on and do the crossword. while I'm gone. You think you can manage that?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay, good. I shall be back.
Time to cross some words. I am taking a look at it. Let's see. Golfers often break them. Club? Maybe? Nope. Guess that's not right. Cosmopolitan place. It's king, so they say. Oh my goodness. Un bel di vedremo for one. I don't. Is that Italian? I don't think it's wrong. Where is Ronald? Ronald, I think, speaks every language. Oh my goodness. See, I don't know who's looking at the crossword right now. 16 across covers the entire span of the board. That is one answer for something. It says unbelievable friend inhaled face washes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable colon friend inhaled face washes exclamation point. I have no, and it's in parentheses. I have no idea. That's crazy. Portable place to crash pad. Crash pad. I don't think I've gotten a single one. Oh my goodness. Nudged along. Fiber alternative for short. What? Game with horses. What's a game with horses? All I can think of is horseshoes. Oh, game with horses. What did running? Is that a game? Game with horses. Okay, we're gonna move along. More info later, but it's in it's in not parentheses, quotation mark. More info later. Mooney, but it's got a question mark, which means it's something cheeky. Um, La La Leader. What? What? Did she pick an easy one or did she pick a hard one? When will you be here? Telltale sign of decay. MOL. Mold. Mold. Rotting. Nope. Maggots. I got nothing. Place to retire. There's a lot of 3-letter words that I have not answered a single one. Miles Morales and Kamala Khan for 2. It's not Miles Morales. I don't know. Oh, I am not. A sugar pill, perhaps. Placebo. Look who finally got one. Look who finally got one. I have been doing all of the across ones, and that is where I finally got one. You can tell how many I do not know. I've been working my way down through all of the across ones, and I finally got one that far down. Song that really slaps is a bop. Hey, look who's on a roll. Repeating sound effect. Don't know. Diana Krall's vocal range. Alto? That's the only 4-letter word I can think of. A. Look who's on a roll. Blank butter moisturizing ingredient. Cocoa butter? No. Got nothing. Goes out of focus. Spades. Nope. Oh no. Item on a bulletin board. A pin attack? Hey! I just had to get to the bottom. I just had to get to the bottom of the list. That's where all the words that I know are. Court cover-ups. Linger in a tub. Soak. Hey. Where are the rest of my people? We have Ronald, we have Ari, we got nobody. Chloe and Bucket, are you there? Bucket, my number one fan, are you there? Bucket the dog, I'm talking directly to you. Okay. So I have not gotten the acrosses. Well, I've got a couple of the acrosses. I'm working on the downs. I'm working my way from the bottom up. Also, not to mention, common trees in Minecraft. It's got a K in it. Oaks. Look at me knowing a single tree. That was the only tree that I could think of. Maple, maybe? Sign of fall. Leaves. Leabe. No, that's too much. Lea, but it can't be leaves because that's not correct. Have you returned?
How can you tell?
I heard your microphone going.
Silly girl. I see you got some of the crossword filled in.
Yeah, I started at the top and worked my way down, and that's where I started finding words. I could not figure out any of the top half of this board, at least for the across ones. I'm doing the down ones now, but I'm working my way from the bottom up.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, some of these are 16 across, spans the entire board. I have no idea what that is.
Poor thing. So, do we want to continue doing the crossword while we talk about our life update, or?
Yeah, let's throw it in the background and maybe smallize it so that people can see us as well. Applesauce or hummus? Gross.
Which one? Which one's gross? Applesauce or hummus?
Both. What is that texture? Ew. What do you mean?
Okay, well,
34 down is just applesauce or hummus. But the word that I would say is sauce, which is in the word applesauce. Is
well,
hummus a
first thing
sauce?
we need to start with is what are we drinking?
I am drinking leftover Powerade
Uh-huh.
from honestly like 2 days ago.
I am Have you had any breakfast this morning?
I am not. Hello, Ari. I woke up late. I'm still not feeling well.
Which we'll get to in a minute. I am on day 2 of mushroom coffee
How you
with
liking it?
my regular sugar and vanilla creamer. I'm going to be honest, don't tell your sister,
Does it taste
but
like you're drinking dirt?
no, I was a little skeptical because she made me some when we were on the cruise,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't a terrible taste. I just have a vague memory of it being like watery or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I um made my own cup of it. I have got the package in the mail that she got me for Christmas. She got me mushroom coffee for Christmas, viewers. And so I got the package and I looked at the package and it's like, well, you put 1 spoon or 2 spoon, make it, you can add it to your regular coffee or you can drink it alone as coffee by itself, whatever. And so I was like, okay. And it does have some coffee in it, but it's supposed to be like 80% less caffeine than
Mhm.
regular coffee. For some reason, your sister thinks that I need to get off caffeine, get off coffee. I don't know why. Because really, I used to drink like 4 cups a day. I am down to this 1 cup a day. And sometimes when I'm feeling froggy and I feel like I want a second cup of coffee, I drink decaf. So I'm not drinking a lot of coffee like I used to back in my 30s.
Mhm.
But I made it yesterday and I was like, what, I don't know if there's any sugar in this or what. So let me just make it with water. And of course, it tastes just like black coffee.
Okay.
So I put my regular creamer and sugar in it and it tastes just like coffee.
Okay.
It tastes a little bit better than the instant coffee that I normally drink. This
Okay.
is this is instant coffee. It's not like brew coffee or pour over or anything like that. This is instant coffee.
And you're drinking the mushroom coffee. You're not putting the mushroom coffee in your coffee. You're drinking it by itself.
No, I'm just drinking it by itself
Uh huh.
as coffee. I put 2 big spoons because I've got this big
Big
cup.
cup. Yeah.
So I put 2 big spoons. I think she may make hers just like 1 spoon or something. Um, so maybe that's why it tasted weak to me. But I put 2 big spoons in it and it tastes fine. It tastes just like my normal coffee. And I had to have a yogurt this morning because I woke up with my stomach hurting.
Ooh.
And I had a yogurt and I had uh some sort of organic graham cracker that was nearly flavorless, but at least my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm just eating the random snack because your father comes home with like random snacks
Uh huh.
that people, either they're from the break room at his job or the flight attendants bring him stuff
Mhm.
from different countries or whatever. So we all have random snacks. So right now I've got some sort of strawberry. I think this is supposed to be like an organic fruit roll up thingy.
Oh, fruit leather. I love fruit leather.
And this
There's some people
is
around here that make fruit
because
leather and
I
sell it.
wanted to try freeze dried candy and they didn't have any freeze dried candy at Walmart, but they had freeze dried fruit. So I bought myself some freeze dried fruit.
Freeze dried food is
So
fun. I've had freeze
I've
dried. I want to say strawberries or something.
yeah, I have a variety pack that I got from Walmart that has like freeze dried strawberries, bananas, pears, and apples. So I'm doing the apples today. But that's my breakfast. So are we starting with our life update? What's going on with life here?
What did I have in the list? Let me minimize my little thing. What is
You sound so
in?
sniffly.
I am. I'm still. Ari's like, yay, Maya isn't dying. I am still ill. I am congested. I cannot breathe out of this nostril. I have a little bit of a headache that is like also an earache, sort of.
Oh, that's
And
a bummer.
if I get excited and try talking too loud, I sound like Fran Drescher from The Nanny. So,
Weird.
what do we have in life updates?
So this
Okay, I don't think I put anything in life updates. Nothing's
yeah,
going on,
neither one
honestly.
of us put anything in life updates because we're just getting off the new year. So this I intended this episode to be like our last episode, a continuation of last week's episode, but also our last episode talking about, oh, it's the new year and do you have
Uh-huh.
resolutions and blah, 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 blah. Um I am on a new computer. Um a new to me computer, I should say. Why are you making faces?
You got a new computer?
No,
After
it's
everybody was like, you need to have a computer that has a working A key and the screen is not falling off?
yeah, your father, because I sit in bed using my computer, and your father noticed. I think I mentioned this a couple videos ago. Your father
Yeah,
noticed
saw
that
your computer.
my screen was splitting apart, and I had to be careful opening and closing because the frame was splitting apart from the glass, although it's not technically glass, but you know what I mean. Spray was splitting apart from the screeny part. And so he, you know, sad part when he was cleaning out grandma's house,
Mm.
after your uncle passed away.
Mhm.
Your uncle was, shall we say, a collector of found items.
Mhm.
And so there was a computer, and he brought it to me. He's like, "Well, take a look at it. Let me know if there's anything we
Are we
need to
frozen
do
again?
to fix it up." What'd you say?
We were frozen for a second, but it came through.
Oh, okay.
We're good
Yeah, see if there's anything you need to do to
to
fix
fix
this
it.
up. And I was like, I took a brief look at it, and I was like, well, it's the processor on it is a little bit slower because, like, this is like an i3. For though I know you know nothing about computers, but and I barely know a little bit more than you, but just in case there's anybody watching who knows anything about computers, this the processor on this one is an i3, and the computer I've been using, that the one that's falling apart, is an i7.
You were just saying letters and numbers at me.
And so, and this one, my other computer has 16 gigabytes of RAM. This one only had 8 gigabytes of RAM. So I was like, I this is a lateral move at best. And I didn't
Mhm.
think anything else about it. And also the battery is completely shot.
Ooh.
But then, so I didn't think anything. I just told him, yeah, it's not really any better than the one I'm already using. And I just put it to the side. But then he took it to somebody at work
Mhm.
who fiddles with computers as their side hustle. And basically, as people say, long story short, short story long, um, this computer, the downside is the processor is a little bit slower. The upside is that the speed of this process, the speed difference of the processors is not really very noticeable because um the the coworker he paid the coworker to add 8 gigabytes of RAM. So now this one has 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it runs pretty much as fast as
As
the
the other
other
one.
one, as
Nice.
because it was like hella slow
Uh huh.
when before without the extra RAM. So the RAM made a big difference. Also, I can't tell. I think this camera is roughly the same. I'm going to embiggen myself. I think this camera is roughly the same as the camera on the other one,
I think it's
and
about the same.
and better than the camera of this, because we've done it. Remember, we've done it one time on this camera
Mhm.
over here, and it was kind of fuzzy. This is my work computer that I'm pointing to over here. So I
I
think,
I think compared to the one that you normally use, this one has a little bit more of a Marilyn Monroe fuzz going
yeah,
on.
and I think that's because I turned the computer on and just started. I have not like cleaned
Yeah, you want to take
the
a microfiber cloth and just
Yeah, I have not cleaned I don't have a microfiber over here right now, but I have not cleaned the little. So maybe next week I will look gorgeous. But
Mhm.
right now because I just brought it in here, made sure the camera actually
I mean,
worked, and then
it
started.
it looks decent. If you hadn't called attention to it and I
Mhm.
wasn't like looking specifically at it, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, it looks decent.
But also, and the biggest reason that I am giving this a chance, even though the other one still works perfectly fine, is that this one has a 1 terabyte. Do you hear me? 1 terabyte hard drive.
Terabyte with a T?
Terabyte with a T,
Ooh,
meaning 1,000 gigabytes.
you got that memory.
Meaning the computer I was using. I'm sorry, the speckles on my glasses are driving me crazy. Um, the computer I was using had 375 gigabytes. Remember me having to tell you last week that I had to like remove nearly everything to make
Mhm.
room because Fortnite, even though Fortnite is only like 50 some gigabytes once you're actually using it, they want
The
all the
download,
space.
yeah.
When you're installing it, it wants all the space.
Yeah.
And so I had to delete nearly everything off of my computer to be able to have room, because the computer, a certain amount of space on the computer is taken up just by the basic things that function it, the operating system and this and that and the other.
Mhm.
So then, you know I had to take off a bunch of stuff to even just download Fortnite. Excuse me. So now I hopefully will not have that issue, since I have 1,000 gigabytes of space on this device. And I still haven't really started. I haven't done the full move over yet. So I haven't
Mhm.
really added any what am I trying to say? I haven't really
Like changed
reinstalled
the
any of the game,
water and
like
that
my
type of stuff. Yeah.
Steam games and stuff. I haven't reinstalled any of that stuff.
Yeah, when I got my laptop, I didn't have much to move over because my other laptops couldn't do anything. So all I did was log in. I logged in, I downloaded a picture for my wallpaper, bam, I was set.
The plus side is that excuse me. The plus side is that what are you doing? My
What is who
computer's
doing?
this
Ari trying to steal my
the
first place?
the no, the for some reason the chat GPT, the Bing GPT or whatever, decided to it just
Cortana?
popped up and it popped up and started trying to take over.
Mm. Cortana said,
But
I heard you talking about me. Do you need assistance?
pretty much. Pretty much. No, I was trying to look and see how much room I have. I was trying to talk and see how much room I have left on this computer, on this hard drive.
Well, while you're doing that, vamp for like 2 more seconds. I've got to turn the heater on. I'm freezing and my heater is all the way across the room.
Well, we cannot have you freezing. I cannot
Exactly. I
remember
am
how to
sick. I
find
need heat. I will be back.
where. Yes, we don't want you to be sick. Something about linking my iPhone. Why would I want to link my iPhone to my computer? I just need to know where. Okay, system. You would think this. The sad thing is that before I decided to major in medical billing and coding, when I went back to college almost 10 years ago, I I was majoring in computer science. That is so sad, because you look at me now and you would think I'm one of those old ladies who does not know how to use a computer. My brain has just gone. I don't even know how to tell you. Storage. Okay. So I still have, let's see. This says that the local disk has 930 gigabytes. I think that's what's left available after your because I know this is a 1 terabyte hard drive, but 930 gigabytes left after your system files. And I still have 845 gigabytes free. So
That's a lot of bites.
that's a lot. So I've got space to do things now. I've got space to do things. So yeah. So y'all can stop nagging me about getting a new computer, because I've got a new to me computer and so far it works fine. The only thing I don't like that kind of annoys me is the trackpad.
Mm.
And I think it's part the trackpad and part me, because this trackpad on this laptop is off center. The laptop I had before, the trackpad was right in the
Dead center,
center.
yeah.
And so I'm used to, without even looking, hitting my finger in a certain spot. And then I hit my finger on a certain spot and it's not doing anything, because I need to move over to the left to be able, and it just doesn't feel as responsive. So like when I need to try to hold the button down and scroll, it's
Mhm.
not it doesn't respond as well as I would like it to. So
I also have having some weird issues of like, because you know on a trackpad if you use two fingers then you can kind of scroll. If
mhm.
yours doesn't have like a dedicated scroll that location, you can use
Mhm.
and sometimes it doesn't want to work immediately, and it's what is what I'm thinking of? It's inverse. And so my immediate reaction is if I want to scroll down, then I will put two fingers on the trackpad and pull down to like pull the scroll bar down. But it's more like if you're on your phone and you want to scroll down, you push the screen up so you can see the
Mhm.
rest of the screen. That's what you
Mhm.
have to do to scroll down.
Uh-huh.
And it's that is not for some reason intuitive to me on a computer.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So we no longer have markets because you're done for the year. Is that correct?
I will have, so I no longer have markets every Saturday. I have markets right now. I've got markets once a month because Faye Nectar is still having their sword fight events. And so this month's event is going to be on the 27th on Saturday. So I will have a market to talk about after that. And I am currently working on things for that. And then they've got an event in February, which I don't know the date of off the top of my head, and in March. And then April is when all of my markets will start back. I've already been getting emails from markets so that I can start applying to farmers markets again. And there is a Celtic festival in February that I might try to squeeze my way into. But other than those like essentially four events, I am not doing any markets right now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that means I was trying to think if I had any other life things, but if I do, I guess we will just work them in between everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do we want to work on down to yarny thoughts? Not that I have many yarny thoughts, but
Sure.
okay. So we shall work our way over to yarny thoughts.
Change
Yarny,
the little scroll bar.
yep, yarny crafty thoughts. How'd you know that's what I was doing?
Because you get that look every time you're doing something where you're like, yes, we will now move to Yarny Thoughts.
Whatever. Making fun of your mother. You should be ashamed. But so do you want to start with yarny thoughts? Do I need to embiggen you to show what you've been working on?
I've got a couple things I've been working on if you want to embiggen me while Ari is just running away with the
Running
crossword puzzle.
amok. Running amok he
Really fully doing
is.
it.
You're
So,
still in the lead at 43 though.
because I had a big head start because no one was here for like 10 minutes. So I will show you what I've been working on, and then I just had like some yarny thoughts I want to talk about. But I have been making, and I told you this briefly the other day because I called you because I was crying because my foot hurt. But I guess that's my life update. I'm old. I can't stand as a human anymore. I have to have support.
You're not
Um,
old.
I have been making dog toys.
Dog
Um,
toys.
yes, because everywhere that I go, like Fay Nectar is a very like dog friendly environment. Like dogs are allowed in the tavern, and they like
Mhm.
just dogs. Everybody brings their dogs, and then
Mhm.
who is slamming doors? And then Asheville is just a dog city. Like I
Uh-huh.
have like people will bring their dogs into my job. People bring dogs into restaurants. People bring dogs into Walmart. Like it, I back when I was home with you guys, if we went into a store, you would not expect to see a dog. Now I do
Uh-huh.
not even bat an eye if I'm walking through Walmart and someone just has their dog with them.
And the thing is people here like dogs. People are all about their dogs, but they don't take their dogs anywhere. Dogs are like at your house.
This is a dog city. This is a you bring dogs everywhere. We live fairly close to the Wag Bar, which is a bar that has a dog park connected to it for you to bring your dogs to play, and then you can have your little brewski. Anyway, dog toys. I got some. This is after I did a prototype. I did a prototype for my dog because she tore up the last toy that I made for her. I made. Remember when I was making those chickens out of you make a square and then you fold it in half
Uh-huh.
and put a little. I made one of those but left the eyes off, and it was just like a basically like a triangle with a little red piece on it because I just never finished it. I never made the beak, and she like needed a toy, so I gave it to her, and she loved that thing until she tore it up. And so I needed to make her a toy. Honestly, just a toy that doesn't have stuffing because she is just a big chewer. So this is cotton. This is actually cotton macrame cord, and
Uh-huh.
but the
I've been
cord
wanting to get some macrame cord to try.
it make sure you check the size of the cord because I originally just wanted to braid the cord as is,
Mhm.
but the cord that I got was just too small to if I braided it as is to use as a dog toy. So what I did was I crocheted each cord. So I've got this
Mhm.
like navy blue, this tealy blue, and then the sky blue. And each one
Mhm.
of those I braided a length. I braided or I crocheted. So I crocheted I originally crocheted 70, but that ended up being like a little long. So that's the one that I gave to my dog. And then I crocheted 50 and then tied a knot at one end, braided it up, tied a knot at the other end, and then tied two bigger knots to cover the little knots that I
Mhm.
did. And then frayed the ends because once the ends are frayed, once the dog starts, this one you can kind of see a bit more, but once the ends
Mhm.
are frayed, once the dog starts playing with it, this is going to get kind of tangled up so that
Mhm.
it's not gonna untie because it's not gonna separate over here. But I made one, two, three, four, five, six, seven dog toys and a coffee. Oh my goodness, I'm being delivered a coffee. Oh, I can almost reach it. Almost.
Is that from your ogre?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
There's not a lot of cream in it, so you didn't have a lot.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it is from him. He made me coffee because I texted him and I was like, if you make coffee, can you make me something? He's like, yes.
Well, that
But
was sweet.
but I made 7 dog toys. I made those while I was at work because I had to work on New Year's Day and
Mhm.
no one walked into the store. We had all I did a total of I want to say 10 transactions at the register because who needs to go shopping on New Year's Day? We didn't need to be open that day. They did not make enough money to pay the 4 of us that were working that day. Like we did not need to be open that day. So and honestly, I wish I brought more stuff with me because I made those dog toys and I still had half of my shift left. Like I didn't even bring enough stuff with me to work on. I ended up watching Criminal Minds. Um, but so I made those, and my plan is to sell because they honestly didn't take that long. It took. Tell me if this sounds like a good price set for you because this is a decent sized toy. Like because I played with my other dog with one of these, and it's a decent sized toy. Um, doing the chain of 50 for each thing, it took like less than 5 minutes to do the 3 chains, and then braiding it up took another maybe 5 minutes just to get the knots and the braids like locked in place. So this is like a 10 at max 15-minute toy to make.
Mhm.
So I was gonna sell them at $10 a piece.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, because ten
Yeah, that
dollars
sounds
like
good.
people will pay outrageous amounts for toys for their dogs, and like handmade by a local artisan. I feel like people buy this.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to get. I need to get latch hooks because I want to make leashes. That was what I originally wanted to do with the macrame, but it
Mhm.
was just a little too small. Like the cord I got was too small, so I need
Mhm.
to get the little latch hooks so I can make leashes. But the
Oh,
other
you're
thing,
saying latches that can attach to the okay.
yeah, the little,
When you said latch hook, I was thinking
mm,
of
mm,
the thing that
yeah,
yeah.
I have electric sitting around here somewhere, but no. And then the other thing that I'm working on because I that is one of the points in the list that we have here is I have the big project itch. I hate making big projects, but feel like I need to make big projects right now, and I don't know why. I feel like I need to make big projects right now, and honestly, I'm regretting it because I started a big project and now I have to finish it. I bought the yarn. I started it. I have to
Oh
finish it.
Lord.
It really was not that much yarn. I went to Walmart and bought 3 $7 skeins of yarn, 3 $8 skeins of yarn. So it was really not that much. It was just, I have bought the yarn and I am not using this. I've already put over half of the yarn to this project, so I need to use it. I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, you guys can't scoot back any further, so we're gonna
scoot the camera down.
Yes.
You're looking especially crisp today, by the way. Your camera looks really good.
It's because I had this light back here. If I covered the light, you see how fuzzy I look now? It's because I got that light. I know you can't tell what this is.
It's not just the light, because I have light going on too, but
but this is that bright blinding light. Like if I look slightly above the camera, I will be absolutely blinded for the next 10 minutes. This is that bright light. I got studio lights. So I know you can't tell what this is right off the bat. Actually, we're gonna
Afghan?
No.
Cardigan? That's the word I meant to say first.
No.
Poncho?
Think fantasy cardigan. Fantasy poncho.
Cloak?
Yes. It's the start of a cloak. I already made the hood. I just haven't sewn the hood on yet because I want to remake it. I don't like the size because the hook size that I used was a little too small. So I'm gonna take out what I have there and redo it with a bigger hook size and also just more chains. But so this is where it sits. Oh, you can't even see. This is where it sits. So it falls basically to my wrist. But I'm trying to make it floor length. I guess how many hours of work this is so far?
Oh, I can't even begin.
Just take a wild guess.
10?
Yes. That is 10 hours exactly. Because I've been keeping track, so I know how much to charge for it. I'm hoping that I can cut it at 20 hours so I don't have to charge more than like $250 for it. Mm-hmm. But I am trying to grab my other skein of yarn. So this is the last skein that I have for it. But this is Super Saver Jumbo. So there are, I flipped it and I gotta flip it back. It's 744 yards. And I had 3 of these. So I am about to finish up the second one with that. And then I'll do this one. And then hopefully it'll be long enough because I want it to at least be like knee length. Because right now it falls to like basically the small of my back.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that with this one, I wanted it to be floor length, but I don't think this is going to take it that far.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it'll at least be knee length, and then I'll know for next time to grab probably 4 of these. Mm-hmm. But I found a free pattern that looked simple enough, and I followed the free pattern, and then I even sized the hook up one so that it would be more like flowy and drapey and not like stiff, like acrylic can kind of do, or like not acrylic, like size 4 worsted weight yarn can kind of do. It makes things stiff. So I like the way that it sits. I like the way that it like hangs and everything. It's just taking forever. It takes me right now at the point that I'm at. It takes around 25 minutes to do a row to go all the way across the row. So it's taking some time. But that's what I'm working on right now. And I've been looking at like maybe you can unbiggen me now.
Why would I unbiggen your lovely face?
Because that's all I needed to show to the world. But there's that. And once I finish it, because I feel like that'll do really well at Bay Nectar and maybe at the Celtic Festival as well. Because the Warriors of Ash, or one of the members of the Warriors of Ash contacted me because they are going to the Celtic Festival and they're doing a raffle basket. And they asked me if I wanted to donate something for the raffle basket. And they said that they could send me a, like for tax reasons, they can send me a like thing so I can write it off on my taxes, how much the item costs for donating
Mhm.
blah blah blah. I don't know how to do any of that, so I might just eat the cost and make something small. Um, but I also was thinking about making a cloak, so we'll see. Because if I make a cloak, I definitely need to figure out how to do that. But I really want, since it's still fairly cold outside, I want to see if I can make two cloaks before it starts getting warm. But that also, it's just taking a lot of time. It's just taking a lot
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
So I may just, this may be the one cloak that I make during this break before April, and then I'll spend more time making like crop tops and summery things and blah blah blah, and then halfway through the summer, once
Start
I've,
back on the cold weather
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's so that's the thing I have struggled with. The not that I make things for sale, but that's just the thing I have struggled with forever is that every year I think to myself, "Oh, I should start making hats and stuff." But it's the middle of summer, and I don't feel like making hats in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of summer. And then by the time I think about making hats or blankets or whatever, it's already in the middle of cold weather, you know. So I just always think of it in the wrong season. It's like I think I should, but then I don't,
Yeah,
basically.
I think what I'm gonna do is make this cloak. Oh, I also started a shawl, but that's in my project bag over there, and it's a really funky pattern. So I'm gonna work on it and show you guys next week. I
Mhm.
started that because that cloak is too big for me to bring to work on. So I started a shawl with a very nice cake that I have actually. Um, but it's funky pattern. So I will show you guys next week because it's all the way in my bag and I'm not getting up again because I'm attached with my headphones. But I think what I'm gonna do is finish this cloak and the shawl that I started. And then I'm gonna start making like bucket hats, crop tops, things like that. And so whatever I have for the winter, the next three like winter markets that I have, those and the like stuffies that I have, that is just what I'm gonna sell during this break since it is my off time.
Mhm.
And I will just be preparing hard for the upcoming summer.
Yeah. Because that's when you do most of your business. So that's where you really should put all your preparation efforts, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's when you do most of your business. So yeah. Well, the only projects I have are I have as we said last week in the goal setting video, the avatar blankets.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked a couple more rows, but not worth showing, so I didn't even bring it in here, but because it's not enough to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But and the last time I worked on it, I feel like I've messed it up, so I think I'm gonna have to focus. The issue is that how can I say this? The colors that I'm doing are slightly opposite to the way the
The
chart is
pattern is
filled
written.
the way the chart is filled in, and if I do not focus carefully, then
You'll mix it
I
up.
I mix it up.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Because, like, the chart is in black and white, and so the if I was doing, because I'm doing right now, I'm working on Chloe's square, and
Mm.
Chloe's colors are going to be the opposite of Sydney's square. So if I was working on Sydney's square, then the part that was white would be red, and the part that's black on the chart would be black on my on
Mm-hmm.
the square, and so that's not as easy to mess up. But I'm working on Chloe's square. The part that is white on Chloe Square is black,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
part that is black on Chloe Square is red.
Yeah.
And so my brain is mixing it up, and I think I messed it up on the last row, so I put it down for a minute. Plus the fact that hers is black, and nighttime is when I normally work on these things.
Mm-hmm.
it is difficult to work black yarn in my bedroom at night.
Don't you have?
I have the neck thing, and excuse me. I have the neck thing, and I do work and I do use it from time to time, but it's weird. I get this slight queasy feeling in my stomach after I use it for too long.
Using the
It
neck thing?
it's yeah, it's not like the neck thing is hot. I just get this slight queasy feeling after it's been sitting on my neck for a
I
minute.
I also, but maybe it's two different things because I also don't use mine super often unless I feel like I really need to be able to
Mhm.
like see some specific stitches or something.
Mhm.
Or if for some reason I'm working in the dark, but I don't do that super often anymore. But when I was using it a lot more, I would also get kind of a queasy, but not, it was more queasy like I'm getting dizzy for some
Mhm.
reason for looking at it
Mhm.
with the light. It didn't feel like it was from the thing actually resting on my neck. It felt like
Mhm.
just having that light there focused for some reason was making me dizzy. I don't know why.
No, for me it feels almost like if you take it and you touch it, the light is not hot to the touch, but after it's been sitting on my neck for a little bit, it feels like it's slightly warm in a way that makes me feel
Uncomfortable?
queasy. Yeah, makes me feel queasy may not be the right word, just in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable.
That's weird.
And so, but also, like right now, I'm sitting in my office and I've got my blinds open.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out the other day when, not the other day, last week actually, when we did last week's video, I already had stuff sitting in here. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and take pictures of this yarn to put on my Ravelry in my stash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that often, but since it was brand new yarn and and I had it sitting right in front of me, I'll go ahead and take the pictures. And that's how I figured out that this room during the daytime is the perfect place to take pictures because the light is perfect
Yep.
and the pictures came out great off of my iPhone. And so this is a great place to take my, because usually I take like if I try to take a picture for Ravelry, I take it in my bedroom, laying
Mm-hmm.
across my bed, you
And your
know,
room is kind of dark.
and I try my best to, but from now on I need to remember that I should just come in here to the office and take them in here. Although it helps that, like I was saying last week, I got that bug of I need to start decluttering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I directed that bug to my office. I said, my office is going to be the first thing I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to work outward from my office. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted to in here, but I did declutter it enough that it doesn't feel, it was feeling claustrophobic the way my office is configured. I have, I'm surrounded by like desk here, I've got a wall back here, and then back over here, if I was turned toward my desk working like this, it was starting, there was like boxes starting to get piled up over here and boxes starting to get piled up over here
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of my desk, and to where I basically had to fight my way out to get to the door, to get out of here. And so it was just making me not want to come in here and
Mm-hmm.
work, which is not a good thing, especially since I set my own schedule so I can make excuses for, oh, do I need to come in here and work? I don't need to do that because I do need to work.
Yeah.
I need that money, honey. So I your brother helped me move the bigger boxes and stuff out of here. And until we find a better solution, your sister's former room is turning into
The storage
the
space.
the depository where, because part of the reason I don't declutter stuff is because I'm not the one who can drive. If I could drive, and felt comfortable with driving, then I could like get rid of a bunch of stuff, immediately put it in the car, take it to the Goodwill or the dump or wherever it needs to go and get it out of my house.
Why is that not a service
But
that DoorDash or Uber Drive or Uber or whatever
seriously,
offers? Like they'll
seriously,
bring stuff to you. We need a service of the reverse of, can you pick up this stuff and take it to the dump, or can you pick up this stuff and
because
take it
there's
to
no
Goodwill for
money in
me?
it. If the dump paid them or
But
this is
you're the one that pays Uber anyway. If you're like, if you pick up something from DoorDash or pick up something from Uber, you're paying for that. So if you
that's
do it
true.
just the other way around, you just pay the gas for them to take it to the dump.
Well, I imagine, these services are not very big here, but in other cities, there are things like TaskRabbit where you can ask them to do
Yeah.
stuff for you. So I imagine you could ask TaskRabbit to have somebody come pick up your stuff and take it to Goodwill if there was a TaskRabbit around here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a lot of things that I want to get rid of that aren't things that you like. Like if it's just trash, I can get rid of trash. But there are other things like clothes that you can't just throw in the trash or the recycling,
Mm-hmm.
and um like books. I have a bunch of textbooks left from the years it took me to get my associate degree. Um because I switched majors. So I have books left from my old major and my new major. So the ones that I couldn't sell back because the teachers decide every semester,
They're
oh,
gonna change what
they're
books
going
they
to change what
use.
books, and so you can't sell the books back to the school because nobody's going to use
That's a
them.
scam. It's a
I know.
scam.
I know. So basically, I just need to remember now that I've cleaned off my office because we were getting off track. Now that I've cleaned out my office, I can use this space here at my desk to lay a project on and take a picture of it if I need to because this works in here so much better. But
Mm.
I still have not forgotten that I want to work on those avatar blankets. I think I will try. I will make an effort to devote Saturdays as my day because I don't work my job on Saturdays. And Sunday is our gaming day. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can devote Saturday is my just relax from everything day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to use Saturdays to work on it while I'm getting good light. I don't know that I want to sit in here, but I can still get good light in my bedroom if I open my windows during the day and
Yeah.
work on the projects that way. So I think I will do that. But in the meantime, because I wanted something, oh, and Ari is ahead of you, by the way, on the crossword.
I gotta go
Uh,
put in some words. Don't mind me.
but since I can't work on that project while we were on the stream because I cannot concentrate that way, I decided to pick up another project to work on. I said I wasn't going to, but why are you looking at me like that? Well, I just wanted something that I could work on while we were on stream, like you were just now working on
Mm-hmm.
something. I wanted something that I could work on and be able to talk at the same time.
Yeah.
So I am working on a baby blanket using the yarn that you got me for Christmas.
Ooh, which one?
I told you that I was going to use a yarn. This is for those watching. This is a Lion Brand mandala yarn.
Is that the one that you have two skeins of, or one is
Yeah,
just
this
single?
is the one that I have two skeins of,
Mm.
which I know that for those watching, this is the Chimera colorway for those watching. I know
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell because my camera with the lighting has it very washed out. I've got natural sunlight coming in over here, so it's very washed out. But
Oh, didn't you just take pictures of this yarn though? You can post it on the Discord.
I I did take pictures. They're on my Ravelry.
So people who want to see what yarn she has, she's going to be posting pictures to the Discord. So join the Discord.
I will not be, but they're on my Ravelry. But yes, it's a very rich color. I'm happy with it. So I just started it last night, and so I worked on for about an hour while
Cute.
I was watching Gogglebox. Yes, I know this should not have taken me an hour, but you know,
I
I have to look at the pattern and consult the pattern between every row because I'm that kind of person.
I
I
was at
think
I was at work the other day trying to, because I have so like the cakes that you have, I have a big cake, so one that's like double the
mhm,
size of one of those cakes.
the mandala bonus
Yeah,
cakes.
one of the big cakes. And
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I'm just gonna make a shawl out of it, because I was looking and I was like, maybe I'll make something else. And I was like, let me just make a shawl. Someone's gonna buy a shawl. There are a lot of old ladies that stop by my table because I have crochet stuff. Someone's gonna buy a shawl. And so I'm like, let me just make a shawl. And I find a pattern. I'm like, okay, I like the way this pattern looks, because I'm trying hard to find shawl patterns. That this leads into my other point of, I want I want to make a shawl. I do not want to follow a pattern. I just, for some reason, don't feel like reading patterns right now, because I am like trying to watch TV, trying to, like, a lot of times trying to work on stuff at work, or like I don't want to have to focus on a pattern right now. And so
Mhm.
I spent so long trying to find a shawl that looks good, but it's like a one row repeat or one or two row repeat that I don't have to follow a pattern to be able to do
Uh-huh.
it. But I didn't want to make, like, this granny shawl looks good, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't like the yarn in that cake. I didn't want to do a granny shawl. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it would look better with a different kind of pattern. So
Keep
I started
keep the word granny in mind. I want to say something after you say your story. Go ahead.
Okay. But I started a pattern because I looked at it, like, looking at the shawl itself. I was like, okay, this looks fairly simple, and it looks like it's just maybe a 2 or 3 row repeat. It should be fairly easy. And so I started it, and I spent a good like 10 minutes trying to figure out the beginning of this. And I was like, you know what? No, I am working too hard trying to start this shawl. I'm taking it out. So I took it out. And so I was so frustrated, because I spent the whole, because I leave in the middle of my shift to take Wayne to work. And so I spent the whole first half of my shift, like, trying to find a pattern, and then trying to do that pattern, and
Mhm.
then taking that pattern out, and then I had to leave. And then I came back and spent a good part of the second half of my shift trying to find another pattern. And now I
Mhm.
finally found one that I'm okay with. I was like, why can't I just, because there are a lot of shawls that I looked at that are like, they look so gorgeous, but I would have to be constantly reading the pattern for every
Mhm.
line. And I don't
Mhm.
want that. I don't want to be like the freeform girlies. I just don't want to have to read a pattern. But I want it
Yeah.
to be more than just a granny shawl or a double crochet,
Mhm.
like, flat. Like, it, I just want a little something.
That you have described my and I'm a pattern, you know me, I'm a pattern gal. I I'm like, why should I have to reinvent the wheel when there's people who wrote a pattern for this? You know, I don't why should I have to try to make it up on the spot or whatever? But but yeah, I find myself wanting, like with this project that I'm working on now, I want something that takes advantage of the cake and the different colors that are changing, you know, but because I think I suffer a little bit from the fact that we that I'm familiar with how this works. So I feel like if I just made a you know what I make what I say when I say granny stitch cloth? That one that starts at 3 stitches or 2 stitches and then gets wider, 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 and then you start decreasing. It goes narrow, narrow, narrow. It's
Sure.
basically all garter stitch all the way.
Okay.
Okay. And I could have done that with this cake. And but in my mind, it's like somebody's going to be able to see that I really didn't do anything but just one stitch the whole way through, that's not impressive.
Yeah.
But like, who am I trying to impress sitting up in this house? But I wanted to do something that makes people go, "Oh wow, you made that," you know. And I feel like they can tell, "Oh, I just bought a ball of yarn where the colors changed for me, and all I had to do was one stitch." And I have to remind myself sometimes that people who
Most people,
people who don't knit and don't crochet, they don't know.
the number of people who come up to my table at events and is like, "Did you knit all of this?"
Oh Lord.
Everything on my table is crochet. Every single thing on my table is crochet. And the number of people who come up and was like, "Oh, are you a knitter? Did you knit all?"
Oh Lord. But yeah, I have to remind myself. But I do the same thing as you. I wasted a whole afternoon looking. Now, I've had this pattern that I'm working on now. I've had this pattern sitting in my favorites on Ravelry for months. But I wanted to have a cake yarn, and I just didn't pulled the trigger on buying the cake yarn. And so then you
Mm-hmm.
gave me the cake yarn for Christmas, and I was like, "Oh, great. I've got a pattern perfect for this." And then I went and pulled up the pattern, and it was the right number of yards. I'm like, "Great." And then I pulled it up again, and it's like, "No, it's not for mandala. It's for Lion Brand Mandala Ombre, which is a 4 weight, and this is a 3 weight."
Wait.
And you know me, I'm usually a stickler for following the pattern. So I'm like, oh, now I gotta find another pattern. So I'm looking and looking for all these different baby patterns that are 3 weight and will use the amount of yarn that I have because I just have the 2 cakes, and something that doesn't look just too easy, just like a basic grandma's dishcloth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I I looked and I'm telling you, I wasted a whole afternoon. All that just to come right back to this pattern and say to myself, well, I know it says 4 weight, but this is a 3 weight, and I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Although to be honest, I did look on Ravelry in the completed projects, and you can look under your yarn and see if anybody else made this project with your yarn. And there were
Mm-hmm.
like 3 people who
Who used that
made
same yarn?
who used a 3 weight instead of a 4 weight, and it looked nice. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. I
Like I shouldn't need that. I shouldn't need that
Oh, actually, I can show
validation
you.
because I know how to make a blanket. I shouldn't need that validation. This is real because this blanket that I'm doing now is really just a variation on the grandma's dishcloth. It starts with 2 stitches, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really just a variation because I'm adding a few other little stitches in to get and to have the border here. But
Mm-hmm.
really, it's just a variation on the grandma's dishcloth. So I know how to do this. So I should have known that it would work out fine. But why did I need that validation that somebody had done it before me? I'm just that person.
It just occurred to me that I can show you the shawl that I'm working on because it's over there, but I could just pull up the pattern on Ravelry and show
Happy New
you.
Year, Ronald. So nice to see
Hello,
you.
Ronald. Happy New Year.
So nice to see you.
Oh, except I can't because I didn't. Is it in my note in my library? Maybe.
Let's see. And Artemis just 1 point ahead of Ari on the crossword.
Got him. Where? I don't understand why when I download a pattern, does it not immediately save to my library or my favorites?
Yeah, you talking about on Ravelry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is there a like if it's a free Ravelry download? Why is there the download and the add to my library
Oh
button?
no, Ronald was at the neurologist.
Oh,
No.
is everything okay? Is it just they have to
You,
examine your
you
brain because you are a super genius?
you say neurologists around these parts, we've got things we worry about.
They're just
Yeah,
examining.
you don't have to tell us your business, Ronald. We just hope everything's okay.
It's just because Ronald is a medical marvel. International man of mystery, so many languages. They really need to study him. I'm now mad. I'm trying to find that pattern. Hang on. I've got to pull up my
Oh,
downloaded
30 years
file.
of headaches. I feel you, Ronald. I
Oh
feel you.
no.
Headaches are a thing that headaches are a thing that we suffer from around here. I'm glad you're
Absolutely.
going to get something done about it.
Okay, I finally found it.
But yeah, what you were saying about Ravelry, I totally get what you're saying. It's you would think if you downloaded it, it should automatically put it in there. But having watched the bits and pieces of the Ravelry drama videos on YouTube, they've got like one person, maybe two, working on the website design
Yeah.
over there. So I don't think they figured out how to do something like that.
Okay, here we go. So I think you need to pull it in to be able to share the screen.
Pull it in from where, ma'am?
I don't know. I think it's showing up
Oh,
as another.
oh, I see, I see, I see.
Yeah, I could never do this on my other computer because my computer would have fully exploded in my face if I tried to do this. But I
You
can.
mean that?
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
this is the shawl that I'm working on with that other cake. It's like earthy colors because everybody up here wants to wear earthy colors. But
Cool. Cool. Interesting.
yeah, it's
That
got it.
that edge is
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a weird like
It looks very sculptural.
yeah,
It looks like
and
it looks like it stands up.
it does. It does. It's flat on the back. And let me see. Does this one show? It's flat on the back, but then these like little wavy bits, those stick like up and
Mhm.
out on the front side. And I thought it looked interesting. And it's only a 2-line repeat that I basically have memorized at this point. I had to write down on a sticky note at work the how many chains to do at the beginning of each row.
Mhm.
Um, but then after that, it's like I've got it memorized now. Doing the very beginning was a little iffy because doing the let's see, this little bit right here, starting that little
Uh-huh.
section was a little iffy. But then
Mhm.
once I got past that, all of this is just it's super easy. And the way they did it was really interesting. I when
Yeah,
I
that's similar with funnily enough what I'm working on too, because since you start depending on the pattern you use for this kind of corner to corner thing, you're either starting with like 2 stitches, 3 stitches, 4 stitches, but you if you don't get the point there tight enough, then
mhm,
it will look that corner will look very sloppy. So you want to make sure you're, I mean, not super tight, but you want to make sure your stitch is even, your tension is even while you're knitting those first few rows to make sure that corner doesn't look weird or
mhm.
lopsided.
Yeah, it was I had to like I almost didn't start making this one because I had to redo the beginning of it like twice because I there's one point that like I oh let me okay I'm gonna stop presenting, but there was one point where I was like feeling real petty and angry because she in the pattern she's like okay in this next section you're going to triple crochet into the obvious hole between these two sections, and then she's like you can see where this obvious hole is or this obvious gap is in the picture where my thumb is, and I'm looking and looking at my project and looking, and I really it there is a little bit of a gap. I would not call it an obvious hole, and it feels like she was being very petty by using the word obvious, and I do not like it. She was like the obvious hole, and I'm like, you could have said just the gap
Uh-huh.
because you the word obvious felt charged, and I did not like it. I was mad.
You are so weird. You are so weird. I also wanted to point out while we're on still on yarny things that for this project I am using the Timu um remember the Timu set of knitting needles that I got?
Oh yeah, how are they working?
Yeah, these are working fine. I don't understand. I think these people who are trying to push you toward, oh, you need to make sure you get quality needles, whatever, whatever, being snobs. Because these are working fine for me.
That's how I feel. Not to call out another YouTuber, but well, she calls herself a yarn snob. TL, what
TL
is it?
Yarn Crafts.
Yeah, TL Yarn Crafts.
Hmm.
She she fully calls herself a yarn snob, but I'm like
Oh no.
because I've seen something like it. I don't know. People like that. They're like, you
I
have to use
just
this, and I
realized
can't use blah blah.
I meant to work on 3.75 and I found in they're marked on, I know you can't see this,
I see
but
there is writing. Writing exists.
they're marked
Is
on
that
the
4.0?
yes. They're stamped on these wood because these are wooden
Uh
and
huh.
they're stamped on the wood. And I I I haven't used those needles since I bought them. So they're still all wrapped up in their tangle. So I just looked in the stack of and pulled out the one that said 3.5 and I started to try to pull it out of the mess and I was like, "Oh no, I can't get them out. Wait a minute." And then I laid them down and it's like, "Well, the 3.75 one I want has the pink cable on it." So I pulled out a pink cable one and I thought I had the right one and I've been working on
Nope.
it this whole time and this is not the right one.
It's just gonna be a little loosey.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world because I picked 3.75 because that's what the label said was the recommended needle. And then even as I was working on it, I was like, I wonder if I should have gone up a needle because I like my baby blankets to be kind of loosey goosey. And
I'm listening. Have you looked at the crossword puzzle? Ronald just came in and filled in so many words.
is he beating us? Oh, I know you're beating me. You see, I'm down there with 12 points. Oh,
Yeah,
Ronald's already
he's
up to
just
42.
he's scooting his way up the line.
Oh my goodness. Oh, palette cleansers. I could not get that one.
Oh my
The
goodness.
16
Yeah, I couldn't
across.
get it either.
Friend inhaled face washes. I still don't understand that clue.
Friend inhale. I don't think I do either.
Face washes is cleansers. I got that.
Yeah. But palette I thought is like
Friend inhaled. I don't get that. I
I don't
don't get
either.
that either at all. That's confusing.
This is why you got headaches, Ronald. You got too many words in your brain. You have too much knowledge. When you inhaled it, you
Yeah, your
clenched.
palate is your taste. I know what palate means,
It
but
says when
I
you
don't what they mean what friend inhaled means.
yeah, friend. Unbelievable. Friend inhale. Because like it's like when you're supposed to clear and you like sniff the coffee, that's also like a palate cleanser. So like inhale, that I understand. What's the friend part? And unbelievable. I don't understand.
Really, I don't understand the clue. I know what a palate is. I know what a palate cleanser is. I understand all of that. I don't understand what the friend inhaled part is.
Yeah.
That was confusing to me. But
Anyway,
anyway, yeah, once we run out of puzzles, before we run out of puzzles here, we definitely need to
find another crossword site.
find another crossword site. I mean, there's another one that a lot of people use. I think it's called Down for a Cross, but I
Okay.
haven't figured out how to use it in a way
That
that we
works
can
on
stream
stream.
it. That could be. Yeah, that could
Okay.
be.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys caught at the beginning of this, but there she thinks that this site is abandoned, an abandoned website. So we have gone through a lot, if not most, of the crosswords that they have on this website. So we will not be able to use this website for much longer.
We've done a lot of the large ones because I always go toward the large ones. I think we've done all the large easy ones,
Mm-hmm.
and we've done most of the large moderate ones. Um, I don't know. There's some hard ones up there. I'd stay away from the hard ones, but if we run out of everything else, I'll throw the hard ones up there just so we can continue to use the site. But I wish someone was doing some maintenance on this site or whatever
And updating,
because
yeah.
I really like the site, but I feel like because if you go to the Discord, like I've said previously, if you go to the Discord, it's like a ghost town over there. People
Mm-hmm.
are asking questions and nobody like
Nobody's answering.
none of the moderators or whatever are answering.
Bummer.
So that's pretty much all the crafty things. I figured out the coloring book mystery. Did I mention that?
Oh yeah, who got you the coloring book?
Your father. Your father
That's
got me the
funny.
coloring book, which I was very surprised that your father got me the coloring book because and to be honest, I thought that this was going to be a coloring book Christmas. Because if you've looked at my gift list, my wish list,
There's
it
a lot of
is
coloring books.
it is hella full of coloring books. So it's a coloring book. I thought it was gonna be a coloring book Christmas. Before we move over crafty off of crafty thoughts, I just want to mention a couple other things. I have started. Once again, I thank you for introducing me to Google Keep.
You are welcome.
It has been a great help to me.
For
Um,
anybody who doesn't use Google Keep, open it up. It's like uh, to sound like the early 2000s. It's like a notepad on crack. Just use it.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
really good.
it's like sticky notes. It's just like and the greatest thing, at least for me, I don't know if it works as well for people who have Androids, but for me, it I can use it on my desktop. I can
Yep.
use it on my iPad. I can
Yep.
use it on my phone, and
Mm-hmm.
in none of the places is it awkward. Because sometimes there's a lot of things that I use on my computer that I don't use anywhere else because I like to have the big screen,
Yeah.
to be able to see what I'm doing, or the controls don't work as well on my phone as they do on the screen. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a hassle. But Google Keep is a thing that works great on all of my devices that I need to use it on.
Oh, Ronald took my lead.
And I can pull it up wherever, and it's great. I really like it.
It's real good.
So I've created for the new year, I have created myself created a new Google Keep thingy for oh no, what did I do?
What did you do? You brought up the
Okay.
crossword.
Whew.
The
I
Ronald.
accidentally clicked on something and made all my stuff disappear. And I'm like, how did I do that? Oh no. I told you I'm not used to this computer.
Mm.
Um, but I made myself a list of possible projects for 2024. And I am throwing on artsy projects like the avatar blankets are definitely on there. But I've also put in stuff like different areas of the house that I want to declutter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting on some stuff. Right now I only have 5 things on there, but I'm as I think of stuff, I'm adding it on there so that when I check it off, I have a sense of accomplishment and I feel good. But what else was I gonna say?
You said you were saying this before we leave crafty things, so it has something to do with crafty.
I
And
don't
coloring
know.
book Christmas something.
I don't know. I don't know.
We've lost it, people.
Oh, I do know. I was watching somebody on one of the crafty things I think I'm going to add to my list of possible projects is I got those calligraphy pens for Christmas from your sister,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have that pad that I haven't even started. Remember, I bought that multi-purpose
Multimedia.
multimedia pad
Mm-hmm.
to do the watercolor in, but I never did any of the watercolor. But I think what I'm going to do is use the calligraphy pens to practice lettering and
Mm.
maybe put do some watercolor around the edges or some stickers or something like that, because I saw somebody
Cute.
on TikTok doing junk journals,
Mm-hmm.
and that looks fun to me. The only thing that is stopping me is that the practical side of me is like, why am I creating this to sit in a book? It's not something that I can eat or wear, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there's just this part of me that when I make things, I feel like I need to be able to, if I grow
Use it in
vegetables,
some way.
if I garden, I grow vegetables instead of flowers, because you can't eat flowers. If I make things, that's why I stopped doing cross stitch, because cross stitch is just pretty much stuff to hang on my wall. If I make things that you can wear or wrap around yourself to keep warm, or I'm just
Mm-hmm.
that kind of person. If I'm going to put an effort into it, it needs to be usable. And I don't see a junk journal is not anything that's usable. So I'm still thinking on that one. But again, it's a possible project, but I have so many other projects that I need to work on that. How are you supposed to know the guitarist of White Snake? Oh
Ooh.
Lord.
Yeah, I like the idea of junk journals. I'm gonna come look at the crossword and see if I can fill in anything now that Ronald has made it easier. Um, I like the idea of junk journals, but things like that, when it comes to like crochet and stuff, I feel like I can kind of fake my way through it and don't really care. But then when it comes to like art, like drawing and things like that, I'm a bit more of a perfectionist. And so it's supposed to be a junk journal, but I would want it to look nice.
Uh-huh.
If that makes sense. Like I'd be worried about messing something up and then I just wouldn't do anything in it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Beach wolfed down. What? Isaac. Oh my goodness. Um. Okay. We might just be stuck.
Place where plugs might go.
Yeah, I was looking at that one.
Trying not to have a dirty mind.
Whoop. Well, that wouldn't fit with those letters.
It sure wouldn't.
Yes, got one. Winter Games Organization. What is that? Jibes. What? What was that for? In accordance. Jibes with a B. Jibes.
Yeah, I thought it was I went jives at first, but no, it's a B.
In what universe? What in the Mandela effect is going on? Jibes?
Wolf down a bar bill. Oh, I get it now. It's one of those meta things.
What?
Okay, the unbelievable. Okay, friend inhaled face washers. Friend pal
Uh huh.
inhaled 8 face washers cleansers.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
When I looked at the
That's
guitarist, the
stupid.
White Snake thing, and then I looked at the clue, I found the clue for the White Snake thing. I was like, oh, this is one of those combo things.
So this
PAL
is
8 cleansers. They do those, Ari, they do those in puzzles all the time.
rebate check.
They do those
Oh.
in puzzles all the time.
And even though I had the biggest head
Ronald
start in the world, Ronald came in and swept.
Ronald won. Oh no. How did that happen? And I am down at the bottom. I am ashamed.
Ronald came in and swept.
I am ashamed.
I am so mad at palette cleansers. That makes me so angry.
Okay, for the last 20 minutes, you want me to put up another
Throw a hard one in there.
you want me to put up another crossword or want me to put up words with friends?
What do you
All
guys
right,
want?
I gotta turn the heat off
Don't
again.
apologize for your brilliant mind, Ronald.
What's your vote, Artemis?
My vote is the crossword because that can kind of chill and I don't have to focus. Whereas
Okay.
the words with friends thing. But if everybody else wants to do the words with friends thing, I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's just me being your other presenter today. Don't worry, we're getting to that story about carrots. Me being a presenter, that is my thought. But for the people who aren't presenting, it would be a lot easier.
You're so sorry. So do you want the crossword, Ronald, or should we go back to words with friends?
And what about you, Ari? Without the International Man of Mystery, we never would have made it.
The other thing, by the way, while they're deciding which puzzle we should do, is crossword is better, less stress. Okay. Um.
Did you turn your heater off?
Yes, I did.
Is it just the old lady in you coming out?
I think it's the old lady, and they keep saying one of the recommendations is to okay, hang in that same room. I'm going to add a new puzzle.
Okay.
They say that you should be able to. They say you should stop coffee, the caffeine, and I'm like, no, what world?
So you need to be drinking more of that mushroom.
So I'm gonna see if the mushroom.
Weren't you taking a medicine for that? Black cohosh or something?
Yes, and I feel like it stopped working because the last time I was taking last month that I was taking it, it felt like it was not doing anything at all. So okay, I'm gonna do a moderate, not a hard.
Where I have a moment of silence for the first 5 minutes so that all of us can throw in as many answers as possible.
Double animal style is the name of this puzzle.
Yeah, good luck, Ari. I don't think I could beat Ronald, but you and me, Ari? This is a competition. Double animal style. How to play? I don't need how to play. I was just here. What? Where's my crossword? There it is.
There we go. Didn't even give me time to type.
Nope.
You got there before me.
Yep. What? Oh, I feel like a bad gay. I don't know the answer to that one.
Oh,
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, number 14 across.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I know it, but I'm gonna get it wrong.
You're better than me. I don't know what it
No,
is.
no, no, no. If it's not the Doors, it's the other one. Um,
You're back, Ronald. We're doing a new crossword. It's in the same room. Um,
um,
I feel
oh
like a bad gay because I
gosh.
can't figure out 14 across, but apparently my mother knows it.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, did she get it? Has she found it?
I knew it was either Doris Day or Dinah Shore, and my brain was not pulling it up.
Did I spell that correctly? I don't think I did.
You do not know what the Dinah is, Maya?
I do not.
It is a golf retreat. Dinah Shore was big on golf, and she I'm gonna get the facts mixed up, but basically Dinah Shore was big on golf, and she started this golf retreat in Palm Springs years
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure. I don't know if she was just friendly to the lesbians, or I don't know if she purposely opened it to the lesbians, or how it turned into a lesbian retreat,
Mm-hmm.
but she's long since gone. But
I'm just one of those people that's an accidental
I
lesbian icon.
yeah, I spent a whole month reading. It was more like a week, but I feel like I read a bunch of articles on it because there was the dinosaur. One of the cable channels, I think it was the Jewish, I forget the name of it, some sort of Jewish cable channel,
Mm-hmm.
used to do reruns of the dinosaur variety show.
Mm-hmm.
And it like in the afternoons, it was like a 2 p.m. kind of thing or something. And I went through a whole month at least that I was watching them every day. That's why it feels like a month, because I was watching the reruns. And um then I started looking into the thing about the Dinah. When I was looking her up, the thing about the Dinah would come up.
I'm trying to see if there's a documentary about it.
Club Skirts Dinosaur Weekend is a 5-day weekend getaway and music festival catering to queer women, non-binary, lesbian community that takes place annually in Palm Springs, California.
Show weekend, Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, she's the one who created the Dinosaurs Winter Circles women's golf tournament.
Mm.
And her golf tournament, um I can't remember. It was there, I think there was some sort of gay event that one year happened the same weekend as the golf tournament, and then people started attending both at the same time, and it
Mm-hmm.
all came together.
And just became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of that either. And I thought that it feels like something that there should be a documentary on, but there's not. I was just looking, I just did a quick cursory Google and did not see anything. Throw nowadays, is it yeet? Please be yeet. It was yeet.
Neat.
Love
But
it.
yeah, so it really doesn't have anything to do with Dinosaur, other than Dinosaur created the golf tournament years ago, and then I guess a lot of the golfers who participated in the women's tournament also happened to be gay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the party weekend started to happen, and then it all kind of
Kind of just lined up.
lined up together. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
so while
that question involved a lot of knowledge that I did not have.
And now it's making me wonder if they still have the dinosaur show on cable because I'm in the mood for that now. So while y'all are doing the crossword puzzle, I think I am going to throw in because you got about 10 minutes before you have to go take the man to work.
Yep.
So I'm going to throw in some of my shower thoughts. Um, First one being a gossip chair. Do you know what a gossip chair is?
Is that like a Shay lounge? A Shay
Not really. I will
or like
show
a
you in just a moment. You keep doing your puzzle. But
gossip chair?
I was catching up on normal gossip because I'm like way
Were
behind.
you? What episode were you listening to?
I was listening to the one about the dogs.
The dog groomer?
No,
Oh.
the where the group has where the neighborhood has a Facebook page where they talked about their dogs.
You are so behind.
Oh yeah, I'm way behind.
Oh.
I'm way, way behind. I'm back there where they made their announcement about
Joining the people?
joining, yeah, the deflector network
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Cheese and crackers, mother.
Yeah, I'm way behind. But so a gossip chair is basically, which I did not know. I knew it under the name telephone table. It's basically a
Oh.
it's basically a table where you can sit down and that you don't see it here, but usually you have your telephone sitting there on the little side thing and a notepad
Yeah, and
and
you'd
a
sit on the
pen.
phone and like write
And
your
yeah, you can sit on the phone and take a message or whatever. And this is a thing that they were talking about it on Normal Gossip. And this is
I
the
don't even remember
thing
that conversation.
that I would like to have in my house, but I have no
But
room
where would you
for it.
put it?
I
Yeah.
have no room for it and I have no reason for it
Yeah. Cause
because
you guys don't have a house phone anymore.
it's all well, technically we do have a house phone. It is sitting here right next to my
Why is the house phone in your office? The
my office.
disconnected, no longer active house phone in your
No,
office.
it's not disconnected.
I thought you guys disconnected it.
No, we still have cable. So
I'm
our
gonna
phone
call. I'm gonna call you right now.
we still have cable. So our phone goes through the cable. Do you even remember our house phone number?
It is ringing.
648-9400. Okay. Hello?
Oh my! Say words.
I'm saying words.
Landline. Y'all have a landline. I hung up. Y'all have a landline connected. Couldn't you save money by disconnecting that? Who is calling that other than me just now? That is the first call, I bet, the first legitimate call that phone has received in I feel like probably 10 years.
No, that phone rings all the time.
Legitimate call, not
Not
calling about, yeah,
not
not
calling about your car's extended warranty.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's why we keep it. Because whenever you go to places and they're like, "Well, give us your phone number." We give them that.
Ooh, that's smart. But wouldn't y'all save money by not having
But
it?
it's already the
Oh, it's
thing
just
is
built
that
into the package.
yeah, it's built into the package. And so it's like we were just talking about this the other day. It's just like we are loath to get rid of our cable, even though we paid 200 and something for our cable. We are loath to get rid of our cable because A, your father wants to have a regular phone. We're old and we feel like even though cell phones are with us and have been with us forever, your father still feels like we need to have
A house
this
phone just in case.
landline just in case.
Honestly,
Just,
after watching those episodes of Criminal Minds I've been watching for the last 2 days, y'all should have a house phone just in case I get snatched up and need to call you.
just in case. Well, we won't hear it because the ringer's turned off, but
True.
we feel like we need to have a house phone just in case everybody's cell phone service gets turned off because we forget to pay the bill.
Just in
We
case
need,
everyone's cell phone gets turned off. Everyone.
although Isaac's is not going to get turned off because he doesn't forget to
He,
pay his bill.
yeah, he has his
But
own bill.
he has his own bill and he pays it, so he's not going to forget. But but yeah. So gossip chair, we really don't need one, but I would like to have one. The most likely place to put it would probably be in the living room, right near the front door, because we do have a little table sitting there with the phone on it.
Ronald, not me on the edge of my seat trying to figure out where you're going for dinner. IKEA. I saw the note and I was like, fancy dinner, IKEA.
Yeah,
I don't. Do we have an IKEA up here? I've never been to IKEA. The only thing I know about IKEA is furniture and meatballs. I've never been to an IKEA.
Yeah, I've been to IKEA like maybe I feel like I've been there once. Your father says I've been there twice. But I do remember that I do remember one time going and having the meatballs and looking around at the things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question I was looking at. Okay. Um My other thought, so I just thought I'd share that I want a gossip chair. The other thing is gummies. I just realized that proof that I am an overgrown child in some ways is that if there's any kind of medicine or supplement I have to take, if you put it in a gummy, I'm down.
Because they don't taste bad when they're in gummies.
I just started taking because
Even a bad gummy is pretty decent.
I've been having issues with my stomach, and so your brother was like, "Oh, why don't you try maybe probiotics would help?" And so I got some of the probiotic yogurt, but then I thought, well, I saw the probiotic gummies too, so I said, well, let me get the gummies.
Mm-hmm.
No, not
Ronald,
those gummies, Ronald. I had one of those gummies, and we've already had that story of
she thought she was dying.
how I thought I was dying, but wouldn't go to the hospital.
Speaking
Because they would know I took a gummy and just laugh at me.
So since we're talking about shower thoughts, and speaking of the gummies, and this is gonna circle, I promise this is gonna circle around. So the gummies, first of all, has everybody else been getting all of the like mood commercials?
Yes. Why
They're
am I
like,
getting mood? I have not looked up anything about gummies, but I'm getting all the mood commercials on YouTube.
Exactly, me either. They're like, oh, it's legal cannabis. Me and my husband, we like to take these gummies, but sometimes we like to take these gummies. My dad doesn't like gummies because he likes the pre-rolls and he's like smoking on his little lounge chair over there. I'm like, why? Why am I getting all of these? But it's also what? Hang on. Not me getting. Is there anyone who wants this? Ooh, a folding chair. I'll take a folding chair. Actually, I don't need a
Oh,
folding
so you need me for the old lady questions is what you're saying, Ronald.
But so all the mood commercials, but what's irritating me is since the beginning of Haunted Duck Week or whatever. What'd you call it? What's it called?
Oh, you mean Taint Week?
I forgot about that conversation. Oh, it's funny every time. But since the beginning,
it's not funny.
It is. It's hilarious. But since like after Christmas, essentially, and like towards the beginning of New Year, all the commercials that I've been getting because I was crocheting. I started the shawl or whatever, the cloak. So I've been working on that for 10 hours, and I'm working on that. And so I was watching for a while. I was watching Midsummer Murders, and then I just stopped watching Midsummer Murders because it's on YouTube, they put a commercial every like 10 minutes, and those episodes are like an hour and 40 minutes long. And so I'm getting so many commercials, but every commercial is oh, I started eating these gummies and right before I go to bed and I'm losing weight, or this is a metabolism killer. This is a metabolism killer. This is a metabolism killer. You need to know how to lose weight. Oh, I thought that I needed to do all of this cardio, but I actually didn't need to do all this cardio. I just need to follow these simple, and it's all like, and not even just the weight loss.
Ronald finished it. 15 minutes y'all did that puzzle. That was another moderate, and y'all got it done in 15 minutes. Look
I
at
told
you.
you we needed a hard one. But it's not even just the weight loss commercials, because it's also like food commercials and all this other stuff. Like there was a commercial of buy this heater. It's a tiny heater, but it'll heat your entire house in 5 minutes or something like that. The most clickbaity commercials. Like if they were not commercials on YouTube and were text, they are the most clickbaity commercials for some reason for the last week and a half. And it's driving me
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
They're like, new year, new us, new you, new clickbait. I am so tired of it. Just give me my normal commercials back, please.
You mean like all the StreamYard commercials?
The only time I see StreamYard commercials is if for some reason I decide to open Facebook and every other post is like, StreamYard, this is how you stream. And I'm like, okay. But I don't see StreamYard like literally anywhere else other than when I open up Facebook for some reason.
Okay, I would start another puzzle, but Artemis needs to go.
Yeah, I'm going to have to walk out the door in a minute.
Artemis needs to go.
Actually, wait, I might not. Maybe we'll have a long stream today. Give me a second, because he said something about them needing him to close today. So,
okay,
vamp for like 2 minutes. We might have an extra long stream today.
Okay. Well, I am going to mention that. What do I want to mention? What do I want to mention? I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm not good at this thing. Okay. I was reading USA Today the other day, and when they were doing their end of the year type things, and they were talking about, oh no, wrong one. They were talking about they were doing their in memoriam, and right before they did their in memoriam art, start at the beginning of the in memoriam article, they dropped a fact that let me see where I have it here. 42% of US citizens, according to the last census, were born after 1980, meaning that most of the people who were on the in memoriam list are just random people to almost half of the US citizens, because they don't know who these people are. And that just made me feel really old, that they just don't know who half the people are who are on the in memoriam.
In memoriam for what, like the Tonys or Oscars or whatever?
Yeah, I was just saying, well, before I even go on with that,
oh goodness.
So what's the verdict? Are you having to take him to work?
Yeah, I gotta leave. I mean, we've got a little bit of leeway time, like maybe 5-10 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, no, basically what I was saying is that the according to the US Census, 42% of Americans that are currently in America were born after 1980. So, and that, yeah, I know you're in that group. And but that also, not only they mentioned it at the beginning of an in memoriam article, but that also made me think, because I watch a lot of react channels on YouTube, especially like music react. And a lot of times I'm looking at these people and like, how have you not heard this song? How do you not know this song? But now it makes a lot more sense, because if these people were born after 1980, then they don't know.
Unless someone showed it to them.
Because I sent you a video on TikTok yesterday, and I know you haven't seen it because you're not doing TikTok. I know, but I couldn't resist sending it to you for when you do look at TikTok.
I'll see it.
But it was of a crazy dance routine that was on a TV show in 1984, and that was the year that I graduated high school. And I happened to, and I was counting up because oh, this is 2024, so 1984 was 40 years ago. 40 years ago. 40.
Wow.
And I'm watching some of these YouTubers, and especially with the men, it's hard for me, I think, because you see the men with the full on beard and
Mhm.
everything, and immediately I think they're older than they are. And then they
Mhm.
say, "Oh, I was born in 1995," and I'm like, "The hell you say?"
The hell you say?
1995 with that full ass beard and that deep voice. That's
Yeah.
not right.
Wayne with his full beard was born in 92.
That is not right.
It's not allowed.
It is not right. But then it makes more sense why you don't know any of these
Mhm.
people, because if you were born in the 90s, which means by the time you were roughly at an age where I would allow you on a computer, which is like 10.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you were born in 95, you probably didn't even hit a computer till 2005.
Mhm.
And so that means you are fully in this age of, we stream things, we watch things on demand. And you've heard me say this, more than once. It, People now are in this, people younger than me are in this age where they don't have to watch anything they don't want to watch. So it's easy, what people call it today is bubbles.
Yeah.
And they're usually talking about TikTok or Twitter or whatever, how you're only engaging with the people that you want to engage with.
Mhm.
But it's the same thing with entertainment. When I was a kid, we only had certain channels and we didn't have
You just
cable.
watch whatever's on.
And we lived way out in the country. So it's not like I could walk over to a friend's house or walk.
Bye, Ari. Yeah,
Bye,
we can play. We
Ari.
can play later when I get back.
Bye, Ari. So it's not like I could walk over to a friend's house or walk anywhere. So I basically, when I got out of school on Friday, I was stuck in my house till Monday. And
Mhm.
whatever ended up on the TV was whatever was on the TV.
Mhm.
And so I would, just to be entertained, and there was a limit of 4 books from the library, and I only got to go to the library once a month, not counting the school library. So, and I was a fast reader. I'm still a relatively fast
I
reader,
wonder
so
if they still limit books like that.
I could go through my books really quick. So television, I'd end up watching whatever was on television.
Mhm.
So that's, and I mean, and I genuinely liked older movies and stuff like that, but I never would have had a chance to find that out one way or the other if I had been born in 1995, because then I would have watched whatever, my friends told me to watch or whatever.
Yeah.
I, I wouldn't have been kind of
Exposed
forced
to. Yeah.
to watch a movie. Yes, Ronald, the stream is ending. We are wrapping up right now.
Sort of.
I'm finishing my final shower thought.
You finish your shower thought. I've got
So,
one more very short thought, and then we can walk out. We can walk out the door.
but yeah, but basically everybody, I can understand now how these react channels can work, because if you were born in 95 and you only watch the things, have a good week, Ronald, and only watch the things that you
That you want
you
to, or
that
you're
you
told
wanted
by your
to.
friends.
You wouldn't purposely go to watch a black and white movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your father hates things in black and white, by the way, hates them. So just because, yes, I saw that you guys are going to be streaming on YouTube. I'm trying to keep
Oh,
that
nice.
remembrance in my brain because I want to see you guys play that game Decorum. So yes, Ronald and Jesse are going to be streaming on YouTube on
Okay.
Sunday nights.
We can start putting it on
Which,
while we're playing Family Game Night.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's probably going to be on in the background while I'm playing with you guys, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna tune in. So, but thanks for reminding me, Ronald. I need all the reminders I can get so I don't forget on Sunday. Um, Your shower thought.
At my work, they have, you know, the standard, like when you're in a store, they have like their radio that they play over the thing, right? They, the choice of songs is kind of outrageous sometimes, but they played a B-52 song the other day. Name the top 2 songs that you think that they played. If they were to play any 2 B-52 songs, what do you think the top 2 songs that they would have played?
Either Love Shack or Rock Lobster.
Incorrect. They played Deadbeat Club.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
My 2 favorite B-52 songs are Deadbeat Club and Mesopotamia, or Love Shack. Love Shack is also a good call, Ronald.
Yeah, but Love Shack was very popular, but Deadbeat Club is one of my favorites. I'm actually going to have to play that when we start working now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah, I was shook because they played, because like I already knew it was gonna be a weird radio day because they played the theme song to the George Lopez show, All My Things Really Don't Matter. That was playing and I was like, okay, sure, whatever, this is gonna be a weird day. And then
I did not know the theme song to George Lopez show. I've never watched the George Lopez show.
It's one of those, I was at grandma's house watching TV and that's what was on Nickelodeon because it was Nick at Night. But they played that
long ago. Wow. Okay.
But it was so they played that and I was like, okay, it's gonna be a weird radio day. And then they played Behind These Hazel Eyes and I was like, okay, sure. And then all of a sudden I hear, get a job? What for? I'm trying to think. And I'm like, what? What?
Oh Lord.
I was so shook. But then so that happened. I'm like, who is choosing these radio stations? Because Deadbeat Club is, I love Deadbeat Club. Like I said, it's one of my favorite B-52 songs. If you were to go to Spotify and look at the top 5 songs, that is not it. That is not there. It is not.
Deadbeat Club is not part of their top 5?
No, it is absolutely not. Not on Spotify anyway.
Well,
and so I'm like, what?
I'm sitting here typing on my work computer Spotify so I can find this song.
Yeah, go look that up. But that also led to a conversation with my friend Thomas later that day, who came in because we were talking about Debbie Club. And I found out that when he was in college, he was in a group that sang Love Shack. He sang he was on the drums and he sang the male part for, like, they performed Love Shack and he sang the male part. So you guys keep an eye out in the Discord. I'm going to put a link to, because his mom recorded it. So I'm going to put a link to the YouTube video of my friend from work singing Love Shack.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
He did a pretty good job. Like, you can't see super well because I think she was sitting like further back in the audience, but you can hear pretty, and it sounded good. Like they sounded good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. That will be fun. That will definitely be
that
fun.
Was my last thought. Go listen to, if you saved this song, put your favorite B-52 song in the comments. What's your favorite B-52? If you haven't heard B-52s, put in B-50 Who's.
B-50 Who's.
B-50 Who's.
Well, thank you for showing up and keeping us company while we drank our coffee and did a little knitting and crocheting and talked about life. We hope to see you next Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see you before then on Sunday for iHeart Board Games.
Yeah.
I will, if I remember right after this, I will try to put the link in the description to their channel. They're going to be streaming their board gaming session on Sunday. I don't know what time. I have to check it out myself. But thanks for coming to hang with us, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.
Go listen to Mesopotamia. I listened to Mesopotamia like 5 times yesterday. That is probably my favorite B-52 song.